Hello and welcome to the Pack Podcast. Michael here. I've got Carl, Case, and Forrest. Jeffrey's not able to make it, but he will be at our next show. And we are very excited for the upcoming Nightmare at the Woodlawn, San Antonio, Texas, historic Woodlawn Gym, October 30th, meet and treat, not meet and greet, meet and treat, 6 to 7 p.m., bell time 7:30 p.m. We've got a huge card ahead of us. This is our preview show. We like to do preview shows ahead of every major show we attend, where we make predictions and we give all of our fans sort of things to look out for ahead of the matches. Now, before we dig into the matches themselves, we actually had a contest on all of our social media pages. We encouraged our fans to like and share the content from Doggpound Championship Wrestling with the chance to win 4 tickets to Nightmare at the Woodlawn. And we looked at everyone who liked and shared our page, and we're happy to announce the winner. And the winner of the contest is Victor Benavidez. Victor, congratulations. You are the winner of 4 tickets to Nightmare at the Woodlawn. Contact the Pack Podcast page on social media. We're happy to get those for you, and we can't wait to see you at the show. So before we dig into the matches, I want to open it up to everyone. I'll start with Carl. How are you feeling about this weekend?
Hey, Mike, thanks a lot. I am very excited. It's going to be a great show there at the Woodlawn Gym there in San Antonio, Texas. A lot of great matches. We've got 11 matches for that night. It's going to be a great show, so I encourage everybody to get your tickets now. We're just less than a week away from a great night.
Case, what are you looking forward to?
Man, I'm looking forward to the whole show in general, of course, but I'm extremely excited for before the show. Ladies and gentlemen, fans of Doggpound, we encourage you to get there a little before the show, because us of the Pack Podcast will be there early doing fan interviews. If we see you in line, you want to talk to us, we want to talk to you. We'll talk about the show, and you'll end up on our page. If you're entertaining, of course. You can't have any boring fans. But like I said, please come out early. We'll be there. You'll know it's us. And just encourage you guys to come out and have a good time. Forrest, what you thinking, bud?
Man, it's going to be a great show. But I think we all know what I'm looking forward to is seeing Charlie Haas, the greatest wrestler, so, yeah.
Well said. And with that, let's jump into the matches. Okay, our first matchup is Haas Holding versus Nasty Nate. Ahead of this contest, these men had a few words to share amongst each other, so let's take a look.
October 30th, Doggpound Championship Wrestling returns to the historic Woodlawn Gym. And guess what, Nasty Nate? You drew the bad card. You drew Haas. That's right, baby. See, you're standing in my way. Oh, you talk about the limits, and you talk about nobody knows your limits and all this gooly gaga. Then you throw a cigarette in the camera, and that's supposed to make people think, ooh, he's good. Nasty Nate, let me tell you something, son. I've been through the limits that the devil himself put in front of me. And I promise you can't throw them any faster or any further than that. Get yourself ready, boy. Hey, this is my time. Father Time's got me in a corner, so the only choice I got is I come out swinging every time. You drew the bad card on this one, Nasty Nate. I'm going to tell you something, son. I'm not going to jack with you. I'm not going to fool with you. I'm not toying with you. Hey, we got the Haas Nation building up. You'll hear the chants of Haas. I'm working hard in the gym. I'm pushing it like...
What's good? Doggpound Championship Wrestling. It's your boy, Nate Nasty Nate, coming at you live from the pit, formerly known as the historic Woodlawn Gym. And from here on out, from this day forward, we're getting nasty up in here. We're getting nasty! And anybody that's got the guts to step into this pit, I freaking dare you! I dare you! We don't play by no rules in here! We don't play in the pit!
Haas Holding versus Nasty Nate, October 30th at the historic Woodlawn Gym. I'm going to start with you, Forrest. Who do you got?
Man, this is going to be a great match. You know, we've seen Nate Nasty on the podcast, so I've liked what I've seen from him, but I think I'm going to have to I'm going to go with the underdog. I think Haas Holding is the underdog in this situation. And Nate, if you're watching, prove me wrong.
Okay, so to you.
Oh man, like I'm biased. If you come on our show, I automatically have to pick you in our prediction show. It is something that comes with the territory. It is what it is. And when you're nasty Nate and Nate Nasty at the same time, if you're a bad enough man to have two different names, I think you got a match figured out. I have to go with Nasty Nate. Carl, what you got?
Case, I'm going to agree with you on this one, most definitely. Haas Holding is a great competitor. He's been working out. We can definitely see that from the last show, Strictly Business, there in San Antonio, and had a win, actually. But Nasty Nate, he's been training hard. He was on our show and listening to him talk, and like I said, with that kendo stick, and it's going to be a match. But I'm going to have to go with Nasty Nate as well.
Nasty Nate gets 3 picks on the Pack podcast. I'm going with Nasty Nate. And I'll give Haas Holding all the credit in the world. He picked up a huge victory at Strictly Business. Okay, he was competitive. He was agile. I think the crowd loved him. But Nasty Nate, we brought him on the show. Like Case said, call it the Pack Podcast Bias. We had him on. We heard from him. He debuted his kendo stick on the Pack Podcast, something we've never seen from him up until this point. We're going to get to see it this Saturday. I like his intensity. I like what he's bringing. I think he's somebody we need to keep an eye on moving forward. I'm giving Nasty Nate the edge. Next up, we have Haas versus Haas. This is a hugely talked about match. Russ Haas, Chuck Haas, sons of the great Charlie Haas, who will also be in attendance this Saturday at the Woodlawn Gym. This is going to be a huge matchup. We've been told these are two talents that, frankly, we should keep an eye on as they get older. They're going to be major names in professional wrestling. This is an early chance for them to show what they got. I'm going to kick us off. We've got Russ Haas. We've got Chuck Haas. I'm going to give it to Russ Haas. I think to be quite honest, I haven't seen much from these two. I've been told Russ is the older one, so I'm going to give the experience edge to him. We'll see how this thing shakes out. Either way, I think Charlie's going to be one proud dad. Carl, who do you got?
Oh, most definitely, Mike. If you have not seen these two on YouTube, I believe it's on Charlie's page, Charlie Haas's page, their father, the great one he is, and he's been training these two boys at an early age. They're still young, but these two look like true professionals on the match I saw a week or so ago. So this is going to be a non-miss match. You do not want to miss this match between these two kids. But I'm going to agree with you on this, Mike. I'll say Russ as well. But I would definitely recommend being here to see this. This is two boys that we're going to definitely see and hear from for many years down the road. Case, what you got?
You.
All right. Well, I have a little bit of a different answer. So, like Carl had said, these two young men, we're going to see them forever into the future, as we should. And as they're competing, I believe their father's going to jump in, boom, whoop them like the daddy he is. I believe Charlie Haas has the run in. No match. Charlie wins. That's my prediction.
No contest. Forrest,
No
how do you
contest.
see it?
Man, how awesome is this, though? I mean, how proud is Charlie? But anyways, back to the pick. Mike, Carl, I think I'm going to have to go with y'all. I just think Russ, the older brother. I don't think Chuck's no match. I think Russ.
Next up, we have Caleb Smalls with Mr. Biggs going up against the winner of Strictly Business's Battle Royal and newest member of Doggpound Championship Wrestling, Xavier Lockjaw Gotti. Before the match, Caleb Smalls with his advocate, Mr. Biggs, had a few words to say. Let's take a look.
All right, we're just gonna disregard what just happened because tonight ain't nothing is what I'm just so fired up because October 30th at Hallow Wicked, Mr. Biggs and Caleb will be there in action, and oh baby, it's gonna be a fright fest.
Words spoken by Caleb Smalls and Mr. Biggs. This is our next matchup going against Xavier Lockjaw Gotti. Lockjaw has a ton of momentum coming off that Battle Royale win. This was the match that kicked off Strictly Business at the last show at the Woodlawn Gym. Who's going to win this? If it's up to me, I'm going with Caleb Smalls. This was my pick at the first show. I picked Caleb Smalls and Mr. Biggs. We saw the promo video. Caleb was flipping the tires. Mr. Biggs was in his corner as fired up as ever. We saw that energy at Strictly Business. I think you continue to see that this weekend. Caleb picks up a huge victory with Mr. Biggs in his corner. I think you're going to see the beginning of what's going to be a very productive business relationship. Mr. Biggs, Caleb Smalls, I think they pick up the victory. I'm going with them. Carl, who do you got?
Yeah, most definitely. I think you're right on this, Mike. Mr. Biggs, with him being in the corner of Caleb Smalls, Xavier Gotti, Lockjaw Gotti, winning that open battle royal contest. I think he beat 12, 15 guys that night, and I know he's the newest superstar of the Dog Pound. But with Mr. Biggs in the corner, Caleb Smalls is up and coming, and I think Caleb is going to win, take over this one. Case?
And everyone's heard of the great wrestling managers and clients such as Bobby the Brain Heenan and Andre the Giant. Who? Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. Get out the way. It is now time for Caleb Smalls and Mr. Biggs. It is their time. I had picked them last show. Haas Holding had a fluke. He's not going to get it against Nasty Nate. That's our guy. And Xavier Lockjaw Gotti definitely is not beating the big and small connection. He's just not. I got to go for Caleb Smalls. Forrest, what you thinking?
I got to agree with all you. I make it a clean sweep. Xavier Gotti has a lot of momentum riding into this, but like we've harped on before, I think the difference is Mr. Biggs. And like I said, I think Caleb is somebody to watch out for. Yeah, so I think Caleb and Mr. Biggs take the dub.
Isn't the only up-and-coming manager at Doggpound Championship Wrestling. Professor P just announced that he is headed to Doggpound Championship Wrestling. Let's hear it from Professor P himself.
In the book it says, a deal made is a bill paid. Now you know, from my nose to my toes, I stay dripped in designer clothes. But I'm way, way more than the glitter gold and money that I hold. I'm a businessman. October 30th, San Antonio, Texas. The business at hand is the hottest professional wrestling company in all the land, Doggpound Championship Wrestling. As the search begins for my newest business associate, my newest client in charge, I keep my nose to the streets, and I know Doggpound Championship Wrestling has the hottest rising stars in the game today. That's why I'm ready to make that deal, to pay the bills. All you gotta do is just look and see all the benefits you can reap from rolling with me. Professor P is who I am and who you want to be.
Making their return from Strictly Business, the Misfits will be in action this weekend. The Misfits, as we've seen prior to Strictly Business, had words to say before the show. Let's take a look.
I don't want to do it to him, bro.
Talk to
Hey, San Antonio, come October 30th. Doggpound Championship Wrestling, Hollow Scream. The Misfits are finna be in your area. The Texas Wolverine, Edgar Garza, side by side. The Enigma, the Pac Ortega. You best believe it, baby, because we found to hit our opponents with that doom, doom, doom. You know what I'm saying?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a prediction. As we just saw, Professor P is going to be there. He's looking for clients. And all I'm saying is that the Misfits don't have a match. It's a perfect fit. Professor P, you heard it from Case. Professor P is going to have the Misfits be his clients.
October 30th, Woodlawn Gym, San Antonio, Texas. Luke 9 goes up against Stewie the Clown, a highly anticipated rematch. Stewie had a few things to say before this one. And this is going to be a good match. We just had Luke 9, our most recent guest on the podcast. He's excited. He's ready to go. He's been through a lot to get to his point, but he's talked about the leadership of Rodney Mack, Aaron, among the other guys in the back who's helped him prepare for this moment. But he goes up against a very formidable foe and Stewie the Clown. This is a tough prediction, but I'm actually giving Stewie the Clown the Halloween advantage. Woodlawn Gym, Halloween weekend. I think Stewie the Clown, as I said before the video, he had words to say. He didn't have words to say. He just had fear to strike in the eyes of anyone that watched that video. I worry for Luke. I hope he can stay strong. I think we all seen how fast he ran out of that ring after Strictly Business's match. I'm concerned for his safety. I think Stewie, Halloween weekend, picks up the victory. Carl, what do you think?
Mike, that's what I'm going to go with too. Stewie the Clown was, these two met at Strictly Business last month, and Luke 9 was victorious, and Stewie the Clown was not happy about that at all. Luke 9's my good friend, but on this one being Halloween weekend and what Stewie's bringing to the table, I think we're going to go with Stewie the Clown on this one this time. Sorry, Luke. Case.
Man, you see, I would go for Stewie. I would if the show was one day later. If it was on the 31st, he would have the spooky season advantage. But he has not been on our show, so we're not picking him. Luke 9 for the win. No questions asked. Forrest, what you thinking?
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe.
It's another tough one, man. Like you said, we've had Luke on, but I gotta agree with Mike and Carl. I think Stewie takes this one. It's on his night. It's on his night, and I think he's coming for blood. And I worry for Luke as well. So I think Stewie.
A great reminder this Saturday at the Woodlawn Gym. We're gonna have a costume contest of all ages. Anyone bring your costumes. Halloween weekend. A winner will be announced. Great time to show it off between 6 and 7 o'clock at the meet and treat. I want to see some great costumes. We have already seen a few announcements on social media as to what people will wear, but the Pack Podcast wants to see Halloween festivities, wants to see the costumes. We hope to see them this Saturday.
And just one quick thing we had forgot to say, the winner of the costume contest will be on our Facebook page. We'll reach out to you. Obviously, we'll tag you, and you can show all your friends. Good luck in the contest, guys.
We have Michael Darkheart versus Manimal. Got to tell you, I don't know too much looking at this contest. Manimal looks pretty intimidating with the beard and the bone. I think just something in my gut. I'm just going with the gut feeling here. Manimal walks in and takes the victory. Carl, what do you think? It's up in the air as far as I'm concerned. What's your take?
Exactly, Mike. I've actually seen Manimal at another promotion probably 5-6 years ago, and he is a tough competitor. Michael Darkheart, we have also seen him several matches, and he's actually tough as well. But I'm gonna go with Manimal on this. He's always a crowd pleaser and a fan favorite, so I'm gonna go with Manimal on this most definitely. So, Forrest, what you got?
Man, I'm not too sure on this thing. Like Carl said, we've seen Michael Darkheart another promotion. I think I'm gonna go with Manimal. I just have a gut feeling. Case.
Oh,
what you got?
Well, Manimal reminds me a lot of the animal Muppet, so we can't pick him. So I'm gonna go Michael Darkheart.
Case, that's not right.
That's fine.
Mention that we've got some major names in action. We've got Tracy Taylor. We have Maddie Rinkowski, who's been featured on AEW Dark. And we have Trixie, a couple of huge names headed to the Woodlawn Gym this Saturday. Got another huge name coming. Instead of me saying it, I'll let you hear it from her herself.
It's top tier Jasmine Allure, and I'm going to tell you one thing. I am a top rising star in Texas wrestling, and on October 30th, I will be officially making my Doggpound Championship Wrestling debut. And it's been a while since I've wrestled in San Antonio, about a year, but I come back better and smarter, and I'm there to make a statement. It doesn't matter who I face. I'm going to prove why I'm top tier either way.
Versus Alex Arsenal is our next matchup. Not much to say here. The Pack Podcast is very familiar with the work of Charlie Haas, former WWE superstar, a very familiar name in the Texas wrestling scene. What do you say? Charlie Haas, he has the experience. He has the physique. He's been a wrestler for a very long time, wrestled at the collegiate level, various levels. He's going to walk in and he's going to remind San Antonio who Charlie effing Haas is. Going to pick up the victory. Guys, what do you think?
Oh man, I just think, it's not real hard. It's really not. Charlie Haas steps into the ring and then he leaves the ring a winner. That's what Charlie Haas does. Charlie Haas is a winner through and through. He's about to have a new podcast releasing October 30th, by the way, with Rodney Mack and Jazz, the world's greatest podcast, but that's not a plug. That's just a fact. Another fact, Charlie Haas is getting a win. Carl, what are you thinking?
Oh, most definitely. A friend of the podcast. We've seen many times when he's in the ring. It's just all business. So Alex Arsenal, he is going to have his work cut out that night, October 30th for sure. So my vote, and I'm with y'all, Charlie Haas all the way, most definitely. Forrest.
I mean, do I even have to say?
No.
We know you're an Alex
To be
Arsenal
honest,
guy. We know you're an Arsenal man.
Haas is going to pick Alex Arsenal from limb to limb in the ring. So Haas.
Yeah.
Demis is our next matchup. Khan, a champion at Ring of Honor. Demis, an absolutely intimidating presence. The Pack Podcast is very familiar with Demis's work. We've seen him a number of occasions, and every time we've seen him, Teal Piper has been in his corner. He's had the reinforcement. He's had the support of Teal. I hope she's there Saturday. I don't have the confirmation, but regardless, Demis is larger than life. I expect him to have a huge role in DPCW moving forward. I'm picking Demis in this one. Carl, how do you see it?
Oh, Mike, I'm with you all the way. These are both big men, both monsters. Like you said, we've seen both of these in action many, many times. Demis, all the way, I think, on this one. But it's going to be I think this is the match of the night, honestly. But this is going to be a great match. But Demis is my pick. Case.
And as Carl said, this has the potential to be a fantastic match, without a doubt. And I'm going to go with Demis, but here is why. Khan is nobody to sneeze at. Fully a fantastic competitor. But here's the thing. He is a champion, but it's a 6-man tag team champion. 6-man and one-on-one is way, way different. I'm going to go with Demis. He's a singles kind of guy, except for when he's with Teal. Wink. Anyways, we're going to go with Demis. Forrest, what you thinking?
I have to agree with all you. I think I'm gonna go. We've seen Demis. I've like I said, we've seen Khan in the other promotion. I really liked what I see from him. He's no pushover. He's no slouch, but I think Demis is gonna prove to be too much.
Business exceeded expectations here for Doggpound Championship Wrestling, and we are so excited to announce that we'll be coming right back here October 30th. Ladies and gentlemen,
how are you, man?
It's Whiskey Sour.
How are you? Hey, how's the camp? Is we rolling?
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
We're always rolling.
All right. Well, for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Whiskey Sour, and I got a lot of complaining to do right here, right now. See, we had this great event here at the Woodlawn Gym for the Open Contract Battle Royale, and I was thrown second. Joe, that's a travesty. I deserve more screen time. I deserve more spotlight in that ring. So if you're going to be coming at me, and yes, I'm talking to you, Nasty Nate, for throwing me over the top rope, then hey, by all means, on the 30th, me and you, one-on-one. And buddy, you might think you're nasty, but you got a man that drinks, and I wouldn't piss off the man that drinks. Isn't that right, Joe?
Whiskey Sour feeling sour here at the historic Woodlawn Gym, but it's going to be a sweet show on October 30th.
Next matchup, Beano Blue and Whiskey Sour taking on Frank Stone and Robert Baines. We just heard from Whiskey Sour, who's looking forward to a matchup with Nasty Nate in the near future. But until then, he's got to get through the likes of Frank Stone and Robert Baines. Oof. This is our tag team match of the night. I'm expecting a lot of ground and pound, a lot of physical action. At the end of the day, though, in the words of Whiskey, never pick a fight with a drunk man. Going with Whiskey Sour and Beano Blue, the tag team combo. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe we see these two more in action. No Whiskey wants Nasty Nate in the future, but until then, I think he picks up a decisive victory this Saturday. Carl, I'll turn it over to you.
I'm going to go with Frank Stone and Robert Baines. Frank Stone, we've seen several times, different matches. He's always a tough competitor, good friend of the podcast. Whiskey Sour, he may not even know where he is Saturday night, so be so drunk. So we're going to definitely go with Frank Stone and Robert Baines. Forrest, what you think?
I have to agree with you, Carl. Like I said, I'm a big Frank Stone fan. I'm not too sure about the Whiskey Sour, Beano Blue, and Robert, but I think Frank Stone and Robert Baines will pull it out. Case, what you got?
Oh man, Whiskey. This man brown liquor makes him angry, but that's okay. He can be as angry if he wants to be, because Frank Stone is a tank, as our good our co-host Jeffrey says. Frank the Tank Stone. And Robert Baines, as Ford said, we don't know much about him. but I'm looking forward to knowing more about him as him and Frank Stone get the win on Saturday night. That is my pick.
Fly Hendricks, we're Pack Podcast, very familiar with his work, taking on Xavier Daniels. We saw Sodapop Hendricks in action at Strictly Business, narrowly picking up a defeat. He's looking to rebound in this huge matchup. I have to tell you, I'm a huge fan of Sodapop. I think he's a wrestler that's continued to grow. He's got great energy, very personable. We've had great conversations with him. We've had him on the show. We hope to see him do well. I'm going to invoke Case's Pack Podcast guest rule. Sodapop's a guest of the show. Going to go with the guest in this one. Sodapop Hendricks picks up the victory. Carl, how do you see it?
I'm with you again, Mike. Sodapop Superfly Hendricks is definitely a friend of our show, a friend of us. I'm gonna go with him over Xavier Daniels. Xavier Daniels is a tough competitor. We've seen him several times in action, and always a great competitor. But Sodapop has that training with Rodney Mack. He's in the Doggpound, and I'm gonna go with Sodapop. But I tell you one thing, Mike, he better watch his back. We've got a little birdie. Someone may be coming to see him that night.
Doggpound Championship Wrestling coming to the historic Woodlawn Gym in San Antonio, Texas, live on October the 30th. And I guess it's no surprise that the best kept secret in all of professional wrestling is going to be there too, and I'm going to prove the point, baby. I am showing up to take everything they said I couldn't have, and it is a midnight special guarantee. And the only thing for sure about me is nothing's for sure.
Golly, the midnight special. Our boy, as Soda has said before, but now Soda's also our boy. He's been on the show. He gets the privilege of getting my pick for this match, but here's why. Not just because he was on the show. Him and Midnight had kind of a little respect thing going on last show. They took out some nobodies. And man, Midnight may just come to his favor. You never know. Forrest, what are you thinking?
The man, the myth, the legend, midnight special. Man, all I got to tell Sodapop is he better watch his back. And that's a guarantee. Man, so we got Sodapop Superfly Hendricks versus Xavier Daniels. This is a tough one. Xavier Daniels is a great competitor, but I got to give it to Sodapop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Galley here with Jack Stain. Congratulations on the big win here in the historic Woodlawn Gym. And I know that you're ready to come right back.
Absolutely. October 30th, right? Isn't that the date?
That's the date.
I'm right here at Woodlawn Gym, another big event for Doggpound Championship Wrestling.
That's right. You want to be here too, folks. October 30th, Doggpound Championship Wrestling from the historic Woodlawn Gym. Tickets available now.
On October 30th, right here at the Woodlawn Gym, there's nothing scarier than these little girls running around thinking they're better than me. So me, Miss Reality, Maddie Rankowski, I will be right here to give everyone their super scary reality checks. And maybe you'll get one too. I don't know.
Appearances coming up. Jack Stain and Maddie Rinkowski this Saturday. This is a great time to remind everyone that the tapings for Nightmare at the Woodlawn will be streaming on the TSW network. Something to keep an eye on. Doggpound Championship Wrestling will be providing more information on their social media pages There will be streaming options for this Saturday, but it's not the same as being there live. So we hope to see you live this Saturday. And without further ado, let's get to our main event, starting with a war of words between the Bullies, Rodney Mack, and Jazz against their competitors.
I absolutely hate, actually, dogs hate me. Man's best friend, ask me why dogs hate me. I'll tell you why. As a little kid, chasing me through parks, these canine cops would search my vehicle because I fit the description, I would put my hand out to greet these fleabag mongrels and they would snap at me. Then I got older and I realized all dogs aren't that bad. Actually, I've become close friends to some dogs. One by the name of Rodney Mack, a man I looked up to, a man I respected. I can say for a fact, Rodney, you're my dog. But then you found out I was coming to Doggpound Championship Wrestling to run through your locker room just so I can get to you. So you got to me first. I got the phone call that you wanted a match against the Don Father. Well, you're going to get it. October 30th. It's going to be a nightmare at the Woodland Gym. And you're going to learn two important lessons, Rodney. You're either going to submit and obey your master, or I'm just going to have to put my dog down.
Is this? Oh.
A monumental victory for the Bullies here at the historic Woodlawn Gym for Strictly Business. How you feeling?
Feeling good, just like always, baby. And as you all could see, just like I told you, it's time for the takeover. And the Bullies are on the hunt, baby. So, whether you like it or don't like it, you better learn to love it. Because we're taking what's ours. It started tonight. Tonight is just the beginning.
That's right, it's just the beginning because we'll be right back here at the historic Woodlawn Gym October 30th for Hallows Scream. Tickets available now.
Our main event of the evening. Rodney Mack with Jazz in his corner, the Bullies, against the Don Father Lou Gotti, Alejandro Leon. This is going to be a great one. This match to me is the epitome of Doggpound Championship Wrestling. Rodney Mack, Jazz, the Bullies, they've done so much for Doggpound Championship Wrestling, and they are going to, what I believe is going to be one of the best matches of the night. The momentum from Strictly Business, a huge tag team match. The Bullies was in action last month. I think they come into Saturday night and they pick up a huge victory, and what I seem to believe will be a string of victories in the months ahead. Carl, how do you see it?
Oh, it's a good thing. We love it. The Bullies are it. We're going to definitely go with the Bullies on this. Lou Gotti is a tough competitor, but Rodney Mack is our man, our guy. And with Jazz in his corner, I don't see them losing at all. This is going to be a great match, though. It could be all over the building. So I think we better watch out. Case?
Ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Mack, the Red Dog, is a veteran in this profession. You don't think that people have come his way trying to put him down, like Lou Gotti just said? You don't think he'd never encountered someone that said, "Oh, I'm going to put you down"? Rodney Mack has seen everything twice. He has forgotten more about professional wrestling than any of us have ever known. The man has experience. He has skill. And the most important thing, he says he's taking what's theirs. And what I think he's taken is a big fat win on Saturday. I got to go with Rodney Mack. Forrest, what you got?
Once again, I have to agree with all of you. I'm interested to see what Lou Gotti brings to the table, but with the bullies, with Jazz and Rodney Mack, Rodney Mack.
The Pack Podcast has spoken. We have our predictions, and we'd love to hear yours too. This video is going up shortly on YouTube. Check Pack Podcast out on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Tell us who you think is going to come out on top this Saturday, October 30th at the historic Woodlawn Gym. We've had a huge array of staff announcements in the past month. Doggpound Championship Wrestling is growing, and it's growing fast. The talent's growing, the enthusiasm's growing. The city of San Antonio is getting ready to get behind what is going to be a huge, huge company in the future. Nightmare at the Woodlawn. Bring your costume, bring your family. Meet and treat 6 to 7 p.m. Bell time 7:30 p.m. Presented by Aces. Doggpound Championship Wrestling. The Pack Podcast. Michael here, Carl, Case, Forrest. We'll see you there.